What's going on, everybody?
Hey guys!
We're back for another video. Okay, so I know it's so much going on. I looked at the list and I saw a couple of
Yes.
things that I've been seeing all over the internet. Haile Berry, Kevin Hart, a bunch of different stuff. So we're gonna get into that. This is just a conversation between me and my sister, and we like to share our opinions, and we want to hear y'all's too.
Yes.
So get down in the comments below and let us know what you think. So
Yes.
yeah, sis, what's going on? What's going on?
I mean a little bit of everything.
I was gonna say
Like
everything.
I was gonna say, like it was a good work week. Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know where that text message came from. It was a good work week, and I don't know. I'm just feeling good about things. Like things are looking up. Um,
No.
Not in any particular
I
way. Just
mean, right, like not like things were down, but it's like I just like felt particularly good, like on a positive, like I was on a positive vibe this week. I could just tell like everything was just where it needed to be. I was where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there, and I worked out like different little issues, and you got like little tasks and challenges that you have throughout the week at work, right? It might be like a difficult person or a difficult task or whatever. I handled a lot of stuff that I just normally be like, I don't feel like doing this, but I've been looking at it lately, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me go and handle this so I can look back and be like, I did that. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
So I
You
did
know
that.
what? That is so funny because I was just thinking, oh man, we got to get together at some point this weekend because I had so many thoughts that attacked my brain about what we were talking about the last time we were talking about, just like, making habits and things like that and just like connecting them. But yeah, I felt like that this week in a way too, but I just, just being positive and just kind of like upbeat and just seeing like how not easy, but like how simple like where I want to be is to where I am. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you were saying something earlier about a morning routine that I was thought was really interesting, and I really wanted to share it because one of the things that we're gonna do this year, and I mean, I don't know, we didn't announce it, but I'm gonna do it now, is we're gonna incorporate some of the things that we talk about on a regular basis and just really share some just like insights and viewpoints, things we've learned. But you were talking about how important it is to have a morning routine, even if it's just for 5 minutes.
Even if it's yes, because I've heard people say, "Oh, your success is in your morning routine," and I used to think like, okay, does he mean like what I'm doing now, or do I got to make up something? And so now, as I'm older, I'm like, okay, yes, your success is in your morning routine because it's like getting dressed in the morning. And so I was talking to you about my son, and he wanted to start like personal development. He wants to read more books, about certain things or whatever, and work on himself, right? And so I was like, oh, all you need to do is, I said, I understand you got your habits or your things that you want to build, but this is the habit I need you to create. All you need to do is open up your book the first thing in the morning for 5 minutes. And we kind of went over some things to write. It's nothing long or whatever. And then I was like, and that's it. And then go on through your day. And then you open it up 5 minutes at the end of the day. You get to reflect on what you said, kind of set yourself up for tomorrow, whatever. Eventually, as you keep doing that, it's gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? Once you make it
Right.
a habit, you're gonna start putting in things that you're like, oh, well, let me do this, and then let me do this, and then let me do
Yeah.
this. But you can't look at it like that at first starting. Sometimes somebody that doesn't do a morning routine is gonna get up and go through an hour worth of stuff.
Right.
So that 5 minute in the morning and 5 minutes in the night is like, like just create that habit. Just assess your day. In the morning, it's really simple. In the morning, you just want to be grateful, and it's, make yourself feel good before you have to go put yourself around all this energy that
Mm.
you have no idea what's going on with it. You know what I mean? So, and then at night, you're just in a grateful spirit again, but you're also kind of reflecting, and you'll start to learn stuff about yourself. You'll start to boost yourself because you'll realize that you're accomplishing things that you wasn't really, following that closely, but you've just been having the habit of looking at your book every morning and night, depending on what you write in it. You know what I mean? So that was the pretty long-winded version of it, but I definitely said all that to say that your morning routine is where it starts. You would not go outside naked. You would get dressed first. You would shower and hopefully shower and then get dressed. The morning routine is kind of like that for your what do I want to call it?
Your mind or for
Your your mindset.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like you want to get your mindset dressed too because you're gonna go look at your phone. You're not gonna, you don't know what the hell you're gonna see. You're gonna go ride the train or get in traffic to go to work. You don't know what you're gonna meet. When you get to work, you have all types of energy around you. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
I need to
goodness.
already be coming in there. You know, when you see me, even if you irritate me, all you're gonna see is the smiling face. You're not messing with my day because I'm
Yeah.
already happy. I'm sad that you aren't. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, seriously, people be like, why do you always, every time you come to work, you're all, listen, I'm excited to be here. You know what I mean? Like, aren't you?
Hell yeah. Okay, I wanted to say a couple of things just to piggyback of what you were saying because you talked about writing in your book,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you have in there. And I'm a real advocate for obviously for writing things down
Me
and all the
too.
stuff. And like I had which by the way, I found some blank 5x8 index cards and I set them aside because I was like, oh, I don't like these. To me, they're like
I
silly.
love those. I love
So we're gonna give those to you whenever you come over. I have them sent
those.
out to you. But what I realize is like sometimes I like to write stuff down in multiple places, and I just don't think anything's wrong with repetition. Like I think we have the
I
wrong
mean, how can
idea
you not?
as
How
a
can you not?
society. I think we have the wrong energy towards repetition because repetition is how you learn the alphabet. Repetition is how you do some really functional things like math and and just even
I mean,
structuring
yeah,
your day.
I agree with that because I mean it's the same thing if you're
Yeah.
exercising, you're gonna go off of reps. You know, you're
Yes,
gonna be
repetition has a
practicing
bad
something and
rap.
going off of reps. So yeah, but like how do you not write some stuff in multiple places? I can't
Mhm.
help it. I will do it knowingly, right? Like I'll be like, okay, let me write this down, and this is the closest book to me, and I'm like, oh, do I want to write in that book? And I'll be like, yeah, it could go in there, and
Yep.
then I'll be like, oh, I remember I wrote that in there. Let me rewrite it in here because that's where
Yes,
it
that's what I
belongs.
do
Like,
too.
but the connection, the thing about writing, people who don't like to write, hear me out.
Mm,
There's a connection in your brain when you write, when you put the pen to paper. It's different than typing it out. It's like you wrote it all out, so it's almost like you already like etched it in your memory, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like whenever I write a
mhm.
grocery list, I can forget that grocery list on the bed or wherever I leave it, and then get to the store, and I'll be like, "What did I have on that list?" And I will almost always come home with almost everything. Sometimes I forget
Yeah,
one or two things, but for the most part, 90% of that list I remember. But anyway, that's just it's just a connection to it. So when you are reading a book and you want to write down some important notes or whatever, you're writing those down so you can commit them to your your memory. Like not that you're gonna remember it verbatim, but you want to make a dent in your brain, and you're most likely gonna
yeah,
remember it if you had to read it or write it. You feel what I'm saying? Like mostly write though. But anyway, that's a little
yeah,
I
for
could
sure.
talk about that for days.
Cognitively, yeah, your hand and your mind connection, and it's nothing like it's like when you reference that list at the grocery store. It's a couple of things that stick out to me. Number one, by your hand writing it and you having to recall that in your memory while you're writing it down, it's committing it to your memory. And several studies, all these studies has been done to show this is science. But also what's funny, like some of us will remember like either the sequence or the ink color that it was written in or the page, like the
Absolutely.
location on the page. It's like, oh, it's at the
Listen,
right, it's like at the back on
I
the
have
right side
listen,
in
I
orange
have a
ink,
book.
there's a phone number.
I have a book that I use for work. And sometimes I'll have to write down like maybe like I'll have to write down something for travel or something for like,
Yep, yep,
whatever is going on. And I will write it and then I like draw a box around it or something. But like if I have to ever recall where I wrote that, I'll know. I'll be like, oh, I wrote that down. Where did I write it down at? And I'll remember how the page was set up. I'll be like, it was words up here, but there was no space right here, and then it was some space right here, and it was right
yep.
there. So then I'll go look. I never thought about that until you said that, but I
I'm
can
telling you.
recall exactly what the paper looked like that I wrote it on. I know
Yep.
that it was like you said, it was either in this ink or I just know the placement of it on the page. I, you ain't lying. So it's something to writing stuff down. You know what I mean? And so
It is.
I tried to tell your nephew this over and over for years and years while he was going through middle school, high school, whatever. And he just never seemed to like, I was just like, well, maybe that's just his generation because they're all like, they were born with the internet. We weren't, you know what I mean? So we had to learn all this stuff. They were just born into
With
this
it already
with it
there.
already.
They just
So I
think
was like,
that's the way things are. Wow, I didn't even think about that. They just think that's the way the
yeah.
world
And I was
works.
like, well, maybe he
That's
just
the way the
doesn't.
world has always
I was like,
worked.
maybe he just would like to. Right. I was like, maybe he just likes to type stuff in digitally, take screenshots, or listen to audio or something like that, right? I was like, whatever, let him do him. But it just took time for it to set in because even when he was writing stuff down, sometimes I'd be like, write this list down, write this down. He'll like have no regard for the lines on
Oh
the paper
yeah.
or anything. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you two? What are you doing? And so recently I was noticing that he's now wanting to write so much information from whatever he's studying and stuff like
Yeah.
that he's taking up the whole page. Like he's like, paying attention to that. But
I believe that it's a very human thing. Like even back in, in the days before like language or whatever existed or whatever, maybe language did exist, but when people were writing in hieroglyphics on walls of caves and things like that, it's like we need those visual representations. And that is one of the things that I sort of am on the fence about with all of the technology is like people are getting away from writing things down and they think, oh, I'm just going to type it out and have it in a note. It's okay to have it that way too, but for me, I think and write out in like mind maps or lists or brain dumps or whatever you want to call it. It's like it just comes out like that. And I was saying that because I will write on those index cards and then if there's a couple index cards that I really like, I'll put those in a notebook. But anyway, that was all.
Listen, you have turned me on to the index cards because I already use my books, but what I do now is especially for those, are these the 5x8s right here? These.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, the bigger one.
See what I got on here.
Nice. Oh, that's so good.
So look, the reason why I like those for what I'm about to tell you I use them for is because it's just enough space. It's not in a book. I don't have to flip the thing. I can hold it in my hand. I can fold it up if I want to, you know what I mean? And so I write my shows on here now. So every time I do like anything for any video, right? Any video I'm going to do, I'm like, this is where it starts, right?
Yes.
So I'll have the title, I'll do the topic or whatever. I'll write all my stuff, notes down, then I'll go on the back. And I really like the blank ones because I don't like I'll use these. I'm using these now. The ones with the lines on the front, that's fine. But the blank ones are really cool because then I can use them this way.
Yeah.
Right, like that, and then I just flip it over. But anyway, that's the third world. I mean, that's the first world problem. But my point is, I really like these because it's like a whole, like people do when they do interviews and stuff. All the information is right there. So that's how I write out all my videos that I'm going to do. They all have a card. And so that I can keep myself on task. But anyway, I don't even know how we got here, guys.
Yo, I don't care. This is
something that we will talk about though, because I'm sorry to cut you off, sis, but we're talking about celebrity news and things like that, but we will do a lot of personal development, productivity stuff as well, because that is what both of us are into. So you will see us get deep into a conversation about something that y'all probably may look at like, why are they talking in depth about washi tape? I forgot what our point was now. I know we were talking
we were talking about the index cards. We had started out with the 5-minute morning routine, and that's another way to do a 5-minute morning routine. We can get into that maybe in our next show, but index cards are a great way to get started with the morning routine, because if you're anything like me, when I get up in the morning, I don't know what's going on, and the first thing I do, unfortunately, is reach for my phone. And I know these are big no-nos.
And I'm not saying you're the only one, because I do it too, but I have to like set myself up not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'm definitely gonna be like,
one of the things that I think I should do, and I have I have thought about this before, is just to have my stack of index cards. I feel like I've done this before. My stack of index cards within reach, and my phone over where I can't reach it. So it's like I gotta get up and then I'll grab the index cards. And it's like, okay, do these cards and then you can go get your phone. So
I mean, because Faith, listen, let me tell you how important
we
that is.
Need little stuff like
this is how, yes, because listen, you're essentially like you have to, just like if you were like watching a child or something and you want to make sure they do stuff, you got to set shit up for yourself like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I talk
Cool.
about myself in third person sometimes. I'll be like, yeah, she's hungry because she hasn't eaten and she needs to really stop doing that. And so what are we going to give her to eat?
Oh my God.
That's what I do. But anyway, but my point.
You know what? That's so funny because I was just describing the other day to James about like, so I was telling
I
him this
forgot
is
my
what
point.
I do, but it reminded me of gratitude. I was like, sometimes I'll be like in the closet or the Faples or whatever or somewhere, and I'll be like, just like if I'll just say to myself like, this lady's got some nice stuff.
Exactly.
Right? And I'm just like, I'd love to live here.
I do that a lot, but my point that I was about to say, I just had it again. I just lost it again. My point is,
5 minute morning.
I was talking about the 5 minute morning, but then, oh yes, 5 minute morning and the not getting on your phone before you do something. Now, this is what I was saying, that you treat yourself like you would like a child, right? It sounds kind of crazy, but everybody has an inner child. So that's kind of how I look at it, right? But like, I'm going to say her, it's going to sound really weird, but I don't want her to be looking at like just anything before I've had a chance to talk to her, right? Like, I don't want to see, I don't know what I'm going to see. I could see a news posting about the people that got killed this morning at 3:00. You know what I'm saying? Or I could see a news posting about somebody killing themselves or a little 4-year-old getting shot, whatever. Like, I don't know what I'm going to see. I might see somebody naked that I don't want to see naked. I don't know. So the way that I looked at that, and this is the way that I changed it for myself as far as like how I look at it, I'd be like, okay, before I get on my phone, I at least have to do this. Then I'll just, obviously that's something like one of those things is like prayer, meditation, whatever. Then I just add stuff to it or whatever. It's not like I'll go like 3 hours in the morning without getting on my phone, but I will not do it until
First thing.
like, oh, you got to go do this, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, because you never know what you're gonna see, and that stuff gets in your psyche sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
Imagine if you see like 3 back-to-back depressing news posts.
I've done it. With all of the wars and stuff that are happening in Ukraine, and it's just like you see that stuff all the time. It's nothing, there's not much you can do. Or if you feel like that, like me, it's just like, well, why even take myself there? You know what I mean? So yeah, you definitely make a great point, and I need to listen to that more.
I mean, it's only like the first couple of minutes, because you just have to be like, let me at least say my prayers, get my mind right, and thank God. And
I like the way you said it. Like, I don't want her looking at anything before I talk to her. That's dope. I love that. Because I'm not
somebody else is gonna be talking to her. I don't know. Listen. And I'll admit this is why this is kind of why I really know this or whatever. But even stuff that we watch, like I'll watch like the whole little drama sector of YouTube, right? It's a bunch of different. It's the whole internet, but it's a bunch of different. It's kind of weird how it happens, even though everybody's virtual. It's kind of like people are still gathered in groups. Just like you have the planner community, you have, like it's weird because we're all in the same YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've been watching, I watch a lot of drama that goes on YouTube, right? It's entertaining. We like to see drama, whatever. But sometimes I have to just be like, even before I watch that, let me just do what I got to do positively before I start letting this energy suck me in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I started thinking about it. Like, I just started it with like, you can't be putting that stuff in front of your face before you had a chance to even actually figure out what you're thankful for today. Like, get yourself together. How do you feel this morning? Did you sleep good or whatever? You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway.
No, that's dope. I feel like I'm glad and proud that we are talking about things like that, because these are things that everybody probably goes through. So yeah, okay. So more about mindset next time, guys. But listen, we're gonna get into the tea because that's what we do. The first thing that I just have to say is there's a couple of things on this, but I'm not gonna put them all up at the same time. But like DDG and Haile are in the news again because, as we all know, they recently had a child. Now, this, I don't know how real this is, and he be playing jokes and he be making, he be playing games and making jokes. But he put this in his Snapchat, saying, "No, not again." This is DDG, the boyfriend of Halle Bailey, and they just had a child named Halo, and she actually put a picture up on her social media with his hand, with the baby's hand, and said the world was so desperate to meet you, which was so funny because the comments were like, "Oh, that is like shade," you know what I'm saying? Like, people were so pressed and hounding her down while she was pregnant to like prove that she was pregnant,
I
of
mean, yeah, because she
that we
hit that
needed
show
to
so well
know,
though. She hit
huh?
that jump. She hit that jump.
Yeah.
I was watching. I think I was watching. Yeah, I was watching Jane, the plainest Jane. Shout out to the plainest Jane. She was talking about this last night or whatever, and so that made me be like, "What is happening right now?" I know who DDG is because I think Earl used to watch him back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So that's
okay.
how, because he must have asked me one day, "Do you know who DDG is?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I've heard of it or whatever." But um, yeah. So anyway, I mentioned Jane because she had a good point, and I want to see what you think about this because she was saying that everybody was looking at Hailey as if she was about to be like America's sweetheart, Disney star, whatever, and this dude is bringing her down. What say you?
I don't think so. I think they're both young. He's what, 26, she's 23, and they're both young.
I like that
They're
dress up.
they're so attractive. They're an attractive young couple. He's actually not doing so bad for himself at 26. I just looked up his net worth, and I take it with a grain of salt because you don't know what's real. But
No,
his net
no, no.
worth
But
is
not.
like eight between $8 and $10 million. And at 26, I think
Yeah,
that's
he was a
amazing.
YouTuber too, though. He was like a big YouTuber too.
Yeah, and he does music, and I know a couple of things about him. Like, his real speaking voice is very deep. It's like very.
But
Did you see
oh,
that about him?
no, like I seen a couple of his videos, but nothing really stood out to me as like a woman over 40 to watch him. So I never like
Mhm.
stuck with it. That's why I was like, I remember him from, Earl watching
Heard.
him because that's like his age group or whatever. But
Only reason I
he was
know
the
about him.
troll on the internet though. Like he was like, that's I mean, I don't know. Like it's kind of like, oh well, his antics could get her, like hemmed up. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Well, I
birds of
think they're
a
just
feather type
young, and
shit.
they're in love together, and who knows if it's going to be like a long lasting relationship. But I think they make each other happy, and they seem cute together. I think it's harmless. Like, I don't think he's going to bring her down because I think that she's already made it. Like, she's a Disney
Mm-hmm.
princess. Like, it's like she has an acting, career, and she has a beautiful voice, and she's a beautiful girl, and she's not ruined or anything like that. Like, I don't know. I guess I just take issue with the idea that, like, we're playing into the not we, but like when people
Mm-hmm.
when people think things like that or say things like that, it's playing into the power play that we get when people say things like, I don't know. I'm not trying to say anything
You
either
know
way.
what it sounds like? It sounds like you're a huge fan and
Oh,
you don't want to
absolutely.
say anything bad
I
about.
don't. I don't,
But
but I
do
don't think
you?
she's ruined or anything. I don't think he's bringing her down. I think they had a baby together, and they both seem really happy, and the baby's probably really cute, and they're both still successful. So I think they're winning.
Yeah. I gotta go back and finish watching that video she was talking about, but she was talking about how he was trolling the internet and posted like a sonogram before she announced she was pregnant or whatever. But I guess now we figure out
Oh,
that that was true or whatever. But he's
yeah.
again, and she might be pregnant again is what's happening now, right? And so, but they're young. You're right, they're young. You know what I mean? But do you remember when we first saw them? You remember you and me
Maybe
when we
on
first learned
YouTube, right?
about them?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they
I
were
do
like
remember that.
little kids singing. I feel like okay, so I used to watch you. I've been watching YouTube for a long time, and I really wish I could remember the name of the people I used to watch really heavy, like over like years ago, because
Yeah, like
very
Repeat and
those were like my very first people. The only two people
Event.
that I can remember is Hot Damn I Rock. Now, Hot Damn I Rock, I believe either Hot Damn I Rock or Spoken Reasons had a video with them in it when they were kids. I can't remember which one of those people did that, but they were singing and they were like little teenagers or whatever. But I used to watch Hot Damn My Rock. I used to watch uh this dude named Jerry. Right now he does ASMR on his channel, but he used to do videos with Hot Damn My Rock about like, it used to be like, men do this or women do this, like whenever that was out. But it was this one natural hair girl I used to watch, but I can't remember what her name was. But so anyway, I watched a whole bunch of YouTube. So I've been
No, me
watching YouTube for a
too.
long ass time. I've been watching YouTube for a long time. But then
Dude.
it just turned into this though. At first it was like not everybody was looking on YouTube for stuff. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
kind of like a little DIY tutorial. I used to look on it for a lot of natural hair stuff, and stuff like that or whatever. But anyway, I've veered off again on my rant. So.
No, I remember Hot Damn My Rock. I was gonna say that I used to watch this lady named Naptural, like that was her thing.
Natural
Naptural
85.
85, right?
Yep.
I think she's still online. And like a lot of these people have gone on to like start brands and stuff. But that's just a really good point because I love the idea of like YouTube and being connected to people who I may not have otherwise met, right?
Mm-hmm.
I may not have ever met like a or known about these people and their thoughts and stuff like that, right? And it's like,
Right.
and it's been such a positive impact. It's like I look forward to, like, when I'm working, I'm listening to YouTube or I'm watching something in the background or something's inspiring me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
or when I'm cooking or cleaning or whatever, it's just like, even just I love watching those cleaning videos.
Yeah, those
Like,
cleaning videos are good.
oh my God, they're so good. And I've tried to do a couple myself. But listen, it's helped. You know what I'm
I
saying?
did one, but I posted it on Fanbase because I didn't want to post it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody's gonna be over here on Fanbase looking at this. But my kitchen was a mess, and I went through and I cleaned it all
And
up, and
if
then I
they
put
do,
it
they
on.
have to pay you for it.
And then I put it on speed, and then I just watched myself do it. I think the video ended up being 4 minutes long, and I was like, wow, everything, it's just I don't know, something satisfying, like being able to watch it happen immediately in front of your
Yeah.
eyes versus like the fact that the reality is it's gonna take you a minute to clean the kitchen, but.
But what's funny is I like watching it back and it motivates me while I'm doing those because it's like I can't wait to watch this back. So let me hurry up and get it done. So it works. It's really funny. But anyway, YouTube is a really good
You
thing.
know what? You should do one in your Faples closet. Now, for those of y'all that don't know what Faples is, her name is Faith, and she loves Staples, but so she has like a mini Staples in her home. Like any product that you would need, she has it. I'm talking about from binder clips to washi tape to loose leaf paper. So she probably got some printer paper over there too.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
all types of planners or whatever. So we call it Faples, right? But you should do a video of you organizing Faples when the next time you ever do that. Just like, oh,
But
look at this.
I'm actually, it's funny you say that because I'm setting up a little recording area in there because I have that
That would be a tight background.
I know I have this little like contact paper and it's a little corner back there and I'm like, you know what? I'm
That
just
would be tight.
gonna leave it set up in there so that I can just always have a space. But
All you gotta do is
anyway,
go
you'll
sit
see
down.
that.
All you
Yeah,
gotta
I
do is
gotta do it now, but I already started setting it up. But okay, listen, let's move into this because we just be off on a tangent, y'all. We do not even care. Dang, I don't even know where this clip is. I thought that I had it. There is this clip going around. I'm about to find it. There's a I'm just looking at something. But did you hear about Kim Burrell?
no.
So she's now responded to this, but there's this viral video of her. Kim Burrell stay in these headlines. I don't know what's going on with her. That she was calling people names at some point. But anyway, there's this clip of her singing, and I guess at a church service, and she was telling the person like, "This is a solo. Stop singing." You know what I'm saying? And now there's a like video of her kind of like responding to it. But I feel like Kim Burrell is one of those like the elders. Like I said what I said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta see the video. No, I didn't see that. How
I'm
old
gonna
is Kim
send it.
Burrell?
Well, actually, I can. I'm gonna send it to you. But this is just the video. This is what it.
How old is she? Hold on. She's
Ooh,
51. Oh damn, we close in age. She's not that she ain't my elder. No, I'm joking.
I thought she was. I was getting ready to say I thought she was a little older than that,
Yeah,
but
well, the internet says she's 51.
really?
Well, let me see if this is her real quick.
Well,
Yeah,
listen.
Kim Burrell, American gospel singer. It says she's 51.
Okay.
She ain't that much older than me.
I don't want to say it, but I thought she was older than that. I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
lie.
this is her.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
they got a better picture on here.
she's a famous singer, and I know, I know who she is. I just
Yeah,
didn't realize that she was. But look, more power
you are
to her.
so
But she's
funny.
staying some mess because she's
Listen,
always saying something like this or speaking her mind, which I'm not opposed to, but it's always something like this where it's like
this is the
she's
picture that I came up with.
yeah, okay, yeah, sure, that's her. What?
Yeah, sure. I love Kim Burrell.
Sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. Like I just,
Yeah,
I
I
just
want to. What is she saying? I want to hear this because I haven't followed this.
oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I don't have any of her songs that come to mind right
No,
now.
I don't want to know what
She's
she's
an
saying.
amazing
I want
singer,
to
but she
know.
sings kind of like jazz,
I want to
jazz
know what she
gospel or
said
something.
in
If I
that video.
put it in context.
Is she getting smart in the video? That's what I want to know.
Well, she basically was telling people in the church there, so now she's just responding to it, trying to clean it up. We got another cleanup video on aisle 3 when we get over to this Beyonce news, but yeah, it's
Uh-oh.
just like she's always doing. She said it's a solo. God's using me. Yo,
I
okay.
mean, you have to
Talk
admit though
about.
that's pretty clever.
Can we talk about these comments though? Like I be going to these comments whenever I see a post that really makes an impact on me or whatever. I'll click just to see the comments. Obviously,
Oh,
everybody
yeah, because
does that.
comments.
These comments are out of pocket, young. These comments are out of hand sometimes. Like I think they're hilarious, but it really speaks to like who we are as a world.
Listen,
Really?
I do that too. I look at whatever's going on, then I'll be like, let me get to these
Yes. Yo, that
comments.
is such
Like
a thing. It's
that's where
funny.
the
We
juice
didn't
is.
always have that. When you used to read the newspaper back in the 80s or 90s or whatever, it's like it was just your comments.
You just had your own opinion.
Well, anyway, I wanted to bring this clip up, but I obviously do
Oh,
not
good.
have it, and I hope it's not like that with the other clips that I'm about to share. No, it's not good. I wanted to bring this clip up about there's this clip going around where this how they'll do like a Q&A like in a mall or something or wherever, and they asked all of these people, as they started with women, they were like, do you think men prefer a BBL or natural? And the women were like BBL, 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 right? And
They said that's what men would prefer.
mm-hmm.
That's what they thought. Okay.
Then they went to the men and they were asking them, what do you prefer? And they were like, natural, 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 natural. It was like the way that
Wow.
they put it up there, I was like, see, this is the whole problem with what's happening online, to be honest with you, with this red pill stuff and blue pill stuff, because at the heart of it, men and women would get together if they weren't, or could probably be just, I don't know. I think dating would be better almost without social media
I
because it's like,
mean, social media is like a thing, like not a thing. It is like an issue in some relationships. Like, I mean, because you could go really deep with it too. You could it's probably people who got like rules for shit on social media. You can't like this. You can't do that. I better
oh,
not see you comment over here. I better not. Like, it's probably relationships that are like that. So yeah, I could see relationships being affected by social media. And if social media went away, yeah, people would have to talk face to face more. You know what I'm saying? And they wouldn't have access to the people that they have access. Social media gives you access to people that you could slide in the DMs of a
oh,
celebrity. You feel what I'm saying? When you
way too
couldn't really do
easy.
that back in the day. So yeah, social media, I don't know. I don't have any relationships that is affected, but I know people who, you know, especially dudes that are like messy and they cheat.
Oh,
It's like, bro, you got your pictures all over the internet and you're talking to this person and you're liking this person's pictures. Like, people, So
I could just imagine some of the people that I've dated and what I have not seen their social media, but like just back in the day, just thinking about who they were and probably who they were would try to be on social media. Like, look at yourself, you're thirst trapping. You know what I'm saying? Is that what you do? Is
yo,
that what you
a
do?
lot of people thirst trap, and it's, to me it's baffling when I see people my age do it. I'd be like, you are still
They think that they can't be
posing like this.
seen. It's so funny when people do that and they think that they're being subtle or whatever.
Oh my god.
Did you see that one guy that was going viral a couple weeks ago for dancing to Tony Braxton's song? And they put him with all these other songs. He was like dancing. They call him the JC Penney guy.
No, I didn't
Like
see that.
he is like this really thirsty man who put like this. Okay, the first thing that I think went viral for him was like, or I don't know. I just came across him when he was doing the Tony Braxton stuff, and then I looked at some like his other stuff came up. But basically, he has this video where he's like, "What would you do if I walked past you in the store?" And then he's obviously like at a J.C. Penney, and this is like slow motion thing, and it's like he's trying so hard. You know what I mean? And then somebody was saying to that he, maybe this was on TikTok. Somebody was saying to that he was thirsty and he wanted attention. He was like, "Yeah, I like attention." So then he starts dancing really hard. I'm gonna find him. The JC Penney guy. I'm so mad that you haven't heard of this.
I have no idea who that is. Listen, TikTok is like some rabbit hole sometimes. I go to look for recipes sometimes, and then I end up looking at all these other things, and I'll be like, "What was I even here for?" So
Oh,
and then I'm getting to the point where I can't remember where I saw something. I'll be like,
yeah,
"What? What?" But that's we didn't have this many things to keep
distract
track
us.
of. Yeah, yeah. When we were younger, like, so that's why I'm never bored. It's always something to do. It's always something to do. So I'm gonna put you down. Well, I'm gonna put myself down real quick because it's hot in here and I'm about to go turn the air on. So hold on.
Oh, go right ahead. I'll take this opportunity to share this, which was so hilarious. Speaking of social media, I don't think anything like this would have ever happened back in the day. Well, it might have, but I think it would have been far less common, or I don't know if this would have happened back in the day. They probably would have had to have some sort of contract in place. But anyway, I'll just start in with this. So the Lovers and Friends Fest lineup has been revealed now. If you guys remember, I think it kicked off last year. Usher's doing a basically like a fest, like a festival. How they do all those festivals, like
Yeah, I think we talked about that last one. I do remember seeing like that flyer with all them names on it. Is this the same kind of thing?
Yeah, last year they had a whole bunch of people, and there was this whole drama about whether Chris Brown and him got into it or whatever. So this year the dates are coming have been revealed. The date has been revealed. Saturday, May 4th, which is also Star Wars Day, because it's like May the 4th be with you. But so here's what's funny. So I looked at this and I love that. I love all these heavy hitting names, right? I looked at this and I was like thinking that we were going to cover this. And then since that, Mary J. Blige actually came out and corrected and said that was it was a misprint. Like, she's not actually going to be there.
Who else is like not actually going to be there then?
I don't know, but that got me to thinking, like, well, how did this happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I would have to imagine that she must have been
she was like, hold up, what?
thought about or something, right? Like maybe they were trying to get her or something. Like, how do you just accidentally keep Mary J. Blige's name in it? I mean, I guess it could happen.
Well,
it could happen.
They could have just been like, we'll just keep her name on there.
Well, she said
how shady people can be.
She is not performing at the Lovers and Friends Festival. It was an error. That's what she said. And this is the post that was on her page or social media. So I don't know how this happened, but she's also announcing, or she's saying that she's busy in preparation for her Strength of a Woman summit just 1 week after that. So May 7 plus 12, 11. Okay. More power to her, but I just thought that was interesting. Like, it's still a pretty good lineup without them. Here, I'll share that again. It's still a pretty good lineup without her.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on there.
Sorry.
What?
No, that bit. I was trying to zoom in, but I couldn't get rid of. Yeah, I was lunching. So anyway, here it is. Janet Jackson. Oh, come on.
Yeah, that list look crazy. And so sometimes when I see stuff like this, I'll be like, is this internet hoax? Like we really have to kind of question stuff when we see it on the internet nowadays because you can't even believe your eyes sometimes. You know what I mean?
This is crazy now that I'm really looking at all these people on here. Drew Hill, Carrie Hilson, Tyrese, Jason Derulo, Robin Thicke, and all these names. Nina Sky. I haven't seen Nina Sky.
Somebody was just like, look, we need to throw all these names on here so that the people could come. We'll explain later.
Mario, Lloyd, Drew Hill. At these festivals, they be having like several stages. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just like one stage and a continuous show.
Okay.
And I thought
that would be like a long time. Sometimes and they probably not even performing like a whole bunch of songs. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's probably like 2 songs, 3 songs. You know, whatever, maybe 3, 4.
While we're talking about Usher, though, he's performing at the Super Bowl, right, with Reba McEntire.
Yes, that was my next thing. Yes.
Do we know who else is performing with him? Or
I have not heard anything about who else is going to be performing with him. But sorry, I keep doing that. I'm an amateur, y'all.
It's a live show. Shit's gonna happen. You might mess something up. You might not. The show still goes on. You good. You good over there.
I mean, it's gonna be good because
you're working this screen here. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
He's an amazing performer. I don't think we're going to miss. I don't care who he brings up there. Well, I know who he ain't gonna bring no Diddy up there though. That's why I know I ain't gonna be there. I tell you, he ain't gonna be there. Which would be very shocking, actually, if I think about it. Like we really have to get used to this new post Diddy world because it's like if somebody were to, if he were to walk in somewhere, like the records would scratch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean. So anyway, well,
that's that right. Hey, have you seen? Sorry, you know what? That's
go right ahead. We're here. This is what we do.
Have you seen 50 Cent recently?
Oh yeah, he's like really thin, isn't he?
Yeah. Am I loud? Yeah, I did.
Look it up.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and tell us about this.
I'm about to search about 50 Cent. I heard now. Here's what I heard about 50 Cent.
Your nephew
what you hear, TC? What you hear?
Oh, there he is. Listen, here's what I heard. Let me tell you something, because I'm telling all. Okay. Sometimes I like to do that. It's just like saying a whole lot of nothing. One time, Chase was telling me like something had happened at his job, and everybody was like the news was trying to get somebody to speak on something, and I was like, they should have had me down there because I'd have been talking to the news for like 3 minutes and I wouldn't have said nothing. I'd have just been like, oh, you want to know what happened? I'm gonna tell you what happened because it's been happening for a long time, and I'm here to tell it because I know. You know how I know? Because I've been here. And I can't believe they've been getting away with it this long. Well, where have y'all been? Y'all just getting here? But that's all right, because when I tell it, you're going to know. And you're going to wonder how you went this long without knowing. Like, I could just go on and on. And I was
my God.
I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, 50 Cent, has been in the news recently. I know specifically around the Taraji thing, and how he was saying that like he could pay her more than what she was getting. But recently, there was pictures of him. Oh, I'm just looking at this picture with him and Carisha. Did they date? Or maybe she was on that show, BMF. I remember when she was on that show and she did horribly. Oh, you can't hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, sorry. I just remember
it went out.
Oh, okay. I remember when she was on that show, and her character, her acting skills, terrible. They were horrible. They were garbage. Garbagioso. I mean, like it looked so bad. It's like when you think I hate to do this because I'm supportive of people when they do well, but I mean, come on, we got to be real here. She was horrible. She was saying lines.
What show was this?
I believe it was BMF. I never even saw the show.
Diamond on Players Club.
I never even saw the show.
You saw a clip or something?
The clip. What'd you say?
I said, was it worse than Diamond on the Players Club?
Far, far worse.
Oh man.
Far, far worse. I'm gonna now I have to find it. But basically she was saying the line and it was like so unbelievable that it was like why is she even
Sorry,
why
I took Usher down since we know
oh
something.
no, that's cool. I'm gonna find it, but anyway, that's not even what we're talking about, but we're talking about 50 Cent. Sorry.
Yeah, I just came across. I'm sorry to derail the conversation, but I was looking at something. I think I was looking up stuff for my show because I'm gonna start a new show on my channel next week.
There it is.
But I was looking for stuff and I came across a picture and somebody was like, he looks different, and I was like, what? And then I looked at the little slide or whatever, and I was like, he do look different. Like his head is bigger than his body now. I was like, okay, 50 done lost weight, but he do got like, you know, older man's face now. Like,
Well, I mean, his jacket looks really small.
yeah, but okay, keep looking at the pictures. Like, keep sliding through or whatever. I
Okay.
feel like he looks nice. He lost weight,
Yeah, he does
but
look nice, but
it just don't look like his face belong on that body.
oh wait, that wasn't what I was looking for. Sorry, guys.
That's all that I think. It's like, okay, his face don't, his face, man, he always, I guess he always had that kind of face. Let me just stop talking because now I don't want to talk about the man's face.
Yeah, I don't think he always used to look like that though. He actually, because I just saw another picture of him. Like I was just looking for him for that picture, and I saw a different picture of him, like his old face. And I don't know if he got work done, but something's definitely different.
Okay.
Like his
Yeah, so
face
you
used
know,
to
I gotta
be,
go back and look at
his
that picture
face
because the
was
picture was
fuller
like,
than that.
the picture was like, he's different. He looks different.
All right, let me show you this. Look, now we're just
Did you
going to
hit
look
the
at the
pop
search
up?
page. Look, remember this,
Then how
this is
you
what
know?
his face used to look like right here.
But I was doing it when you walked up. Did you hear? No, 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 no. Keep it
Look,
close.
he had a really strong face.
I just got checked. Anyway. Yeah,
He
but
had a really strong, like filled out face, even
maybe
right
that's just
here.
him getting older. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he has like older man face now.
Okay, so I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this over here, but you know,
Yeah,
listen,
I gotta look back at it because maybe that's what the person that posted it was trying to say about he looks different. Because I couldn't figure out what they were trying to say. Were they trying to say he lost weight or were they? But now that we're talking, I feel like they could have been talking about how he looked in the face.
yeah, I think so. And this was just a couple years ago at the Super Bowl, or maybe last Super Bowl. This one right here.
That was the type of performance that he did with that.
No,
But
the
then
Super
when he
Bowl
did
was
that
Rihanna.
performance, wasn't he overweight? Not overweight. Weren't people talking about? Weren't
He
people
was like
saying he was
thick.
overweight?
Oh, this is the one that I was talking about right here.
Yeah,
With him and
that's.
Croatia.
I never watched that. I gotta watch that. I haven't watched that.
This is the cast, I guess, but she did a little stint. I didn't even ever see the damn show. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I never did either.
I just remember seeing that clip and being so confused. Just being honest, young. It
I
was
gotta
it
watch the
wasn't
show now.
good. Anyway, all right, listen. So yeah, Usher's playing the Super Bowl this year. And then I know what I wanted. Common and J Hud. So
Yes, I was like, oh my god, they confirmed it now, right?
yeah, they did. I
Why
said
you
it
say
was
it
bad.
like that?
I don't know. Let me just
Yeah,
we're here,
I
family.
mean, it's my husband, not yours. I don't know
I'm
why you're upset.
sorry. It's not even that. It's just that I remember him dating Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah,
And I remember them saying that like he cheated on her with J Hud or something like that.
I was
Like,
about to say, weren't they already messing with each other before? This rumor has been out there before,
it
right?
was a rumor, and I don't know. I'm not saying I didn't believe it at the time, but I don't know how true it is now. Is what I'm saying. But it sounds likely, and they're giving each other the googly eyes. You can tell they're into each other. But what's funny to me is like it reminds me of the whole like Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats thing.
Okay.
Where he was married and their marriage was like sort of like on the tail end, I suppose, and here comes Alicia Keys, and they were, I remember when they were pictures together on a boat with some other people, and he was still very married. Like we don't know what he was doing at home, but it was like he there were no rumors of him being getting divorced or anything like that. And then later the rumors came, and later they got divorced. But I just, that's why that face came, because I remember he was talking to Tiffany Haddish at one point, and she was talking about how great they, how in love or whatever, or how good their relationship was. And then to see this happen, and then, and then I just remember a few months ago or something, she was having these DUIs or these things that were happening with her, and I wondered, if this has anything to do with it. That's why I said that. Like,
Yeah, I know. I will say this though. Like, I like Common. Common, Common's fine, right?
yeah.
I like J Hud too, or whatever. But I just don't know if I see this lasting either. Like, he just seems like he jumps around. So,
Oh,
uh, I mean, because he don't stay with nobody. Everybody he ended up messing with, right? Let me look up the people he used to mess with. Let me
did
see.
he used to mess with Was he with Erica Badu at any point?
Let me see if I can look up a list. Maybe I'm just having the Tiffany Haddish thing sticking
Yeah.
in my head about how he was with her and then he wasn't with her. But I feel like the rumor about him being with J Hud, like you said, was like this is the first time I heard that they were messing with each other. And then you said that um, so he dated Serena Williams, he
Mm,
dated Taraji P Henson, and
mm.
he dated Tiffany Haddish, and he's currently dating Jennifer Hudson. So like that's if that was a woman, she would be a pass around. She would be referred to as a thought. And so what is he doing? Like all of these women are in the same vicinity. You know what I'm saying? As far as like they're celebrities, right? And who's next?
It reminds me of Lori Harvey.
Mm. Well, right. What are they saying about her?
Well, they're saying a lot of stuff about her, but what's funny is like, she's young, she's out there, she's doing her thing. She's not stripping on a pole. She's an entrepreneur. She's out there dating these young actors.
Right. He also dated Erica Badu too.
Okay, I thought they did. I vaguely remembered that. I just couldn't remember. I couldn't put my finger on like the time frame.
He's a
But
thought.
yeah, Cobb is
My,
out here and
he's
he's
my ex husband. My ex husband's a thought. It's good. Whatever.
hey, listen, he's got a thought job. No, I'm joking. I'm never gonna let that die. But no,
He
I
really
mean,
does have a thought job.
I
Though.
want to make. I want them to be happy. Jennifer Hudson has been
I
through a
like her.
lot. Jennifer
Yeah.
Hudson has been through like 17 different lifetimes. She
Yeah.
started on American Idol. She didn't even win. Fantasia won, and then she had this bomb career. She became like a very young EGOT. Isn't she an EGOT? I know she got an Oscar out the gate. Then she got some Grammys. Then she got a Tony. I forget. Is that it? Is it just those? Oh no, an Emmy. Now then she got an Emmy. So I
Emmy,
think she just
Tony,
got an
but
Emmy from
Emmy,
this.
Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
But yeah, I think she had an Emmy before
Let me
this.
see.
I think she got an Emmy for something else because I remember she was like a young EGOT. Anyway, another EGOT is Whoopi
Yes. So
Goldberg.
Jennifer Hudson has won the prestigious award at the Tony Awards. What year was this? This was in 2022. She and with that win, she achieved the EGOT, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. So yeah,
Nice.
you're right.
So
You
yeah,
on point. You on point with that. Look at you. You be
she's been
knowing.
through a lot, and then I think people forget. So she dated David Otunga, who was on I Love New York, which you'll never live that down, buddy.
Then he was in WWE though. He
Yeah,
was like
he
a
had a
wrestler.
couple
What's the
lives, and they
uh,
have a son together. But he dated New York. I mean, it's not even like her like she's gross, but it's just like to be on a show like that. I just feel like those were not your best years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
uh,
especially those women who
weren't your
kiss
shining
Flavor
moment.
Flav. That's got to be one of those things that you think to yourself later, like I shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like I kiss Flavor Flav, and I'll never forget it, and I'll just wake up screaming sometimes because it haunts me. Speaking
Yeah,
of which,
I
I
couldn't do it.
forgot to tell you this, and now that I'm saying it out loud, Boots, remember Boots?
Yeah.
Okay,
She
so
was she used to mess with Scrappy. Was that the one you used to mess with Scrappy, or that was who was
I think she
which one
did.
was Boots?
I think she did used to mess with Scrappy, but here's what's crazy. So she has a baby's dad or whatever, and a baby daddy, whatever, however you want to call it. And there's this clip of her, and I think she must be on a new show or something. or maybe on Love and Hip Hop or something like that, right? But a new season of it. She was talking to her mom, and her mom was holding her daughter, or her child, and she was telling her about her baby's father, like, you shouldn't be with him no more, da 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 da. He's toxic. He's doing this stuff. And she was like really getting into it. And let me take this down because you're right. We're not talking about this anymore. So then I'm gonna find this clip. And then the mom is like really trying to tell her daughter, like, what to do. Like, don't, like, you need to get rid of him. You need to blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, she was like, well, I have to tell you something. And she stands up and she's like, I'm pregnant, and shows her belly. And her mother was like, that's a shame. And she said it so fast. She was like, why would you do that? Oh, my goodness. And she screamed on her. She was like, Ma, that's why I don't want to tell you stuff. She was like,
what show is she on now?
Oh,
what network is it on? Listen, I'm a fan of Ready to Love, and that is something that I will always review. But I need to open up my broaden my horizon and like talk about other shows. But I don't want to talk about all these shows that everybody else is talking to. Like, I like Ready to Love. That's why I like to talk about that. But I don't want to do Married at First Sight. I don't want to do Love Is Blind. I don't want to do any of that. I want to do like another show that is. I want to get into another show that's good. I might rewatch something. Well, maybe I'll do Black Mafia, whatever.
All right, can you hear that? I'm trying to stop it. Okay, there it is. I hope you could hear that. It was something.
No, I didn't hear nothing because I was talking. So
I didn't know what it was, but it was something that popped up on my screen, and I was like, I hope they can't hear that. So anyway, okay, so back to this. I'm gonna find that Boots clip, okay. But
because I want to know the show.
Yeah, it was messed up. And actually, what was the most messed up part about it was that the mom, like, Boots ended up saying that, like, I gotta probably stop calling her Boots.
I forgot what her name was, but I just knew she messed with Scrappy before.
Yeah, she ended up saying she was like gonna get an abortion or something, and I was like, oh, like, she was like, no, don't do that, right? Her mom was saying that, but it was crazy because
that's a shame.
I mean, the way that she said it, I really want to. Her name is Shay Johnson. That's what it was.
Shay Johnson.
Yeah. I should have known. So let me just go here and see if I could just find this clip because I kind of want you to see it now. But
I mean, but you gotta admit, the reality TV back then was bomb because it just started out, and we were just like, "Oh my God, look at this, look at that." It's changed so much now. Like, we have to discuss. Have you started watching Ready to Love at all?
No.
Okay, so I won't talk about it, but I did. I caught an interview that Kojo did. I think it was yesterday. Of one of the first girls that was cut. Man, she was so talkative and she said a lot. And I'm like, yo, reality TV has changed. Like, a lot of people don't like reality TV because they think that it's scripted. And yeah, it probably is scripted. There has to be some type of direction for shit to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that part. But the thing that they can't account for that is the reality is you never know what headspace a person is in. You never know what they might say. You never know if they are even like understanding what the people, what's going on or whatever. So yeah, that's the reality in it for me or whatever. But I was just looking at that like, damn, things have really, really changed in the way of reality TV. But if you do decide to watch Ready to Love, just let me know and then we'll add it to the conversation.
Yes, I do plan on doing that. Here we go. Shay Bucky Johnson. All right. I feel like I have to play this.
Yeah, okay.
And I hope that you can hear it. I'm gonna try to turn this up a little bit.
Okay, let me go on mute.
Put a thumbs up if you can hear it. No, you can't hear it. Oh, you know why? Because I'm not sharing it. All right, let me turn this on. Okay. So hopefully, let's see.
Him was a negative, was a zero. You deserve better. You may not like what I'm saying here, but it's good he's not here right now. You need the space. Jaya needs the space because she don't need to sit there and listen at mom and dad argue all day.
I need support right now.
What?
I'm pregnant.
That's a shame. What the heck you do that for?
I don't even know what to say.
My God.
Well, I can tell you this. You have to make my decision because
Dog.
I've been thinking about an abortion.
Now, I know you ain't doing that. I can't believe you did this.
That's why I don't tell you nothing. Because
Why you do that?
why I do what?
Get pregnant by him again.
What the hell are you so mad for?
You having another baby that's
So?
more hell coming from him.
I didn't tell you to get this reaction.
Well, I don't know what reaction you thought I was going to have. What is it, a boy or a girl?
I don't know. Who cares? It doesn't matter. So don't even get too comfortable with this situation because it's a situation I do not want.
That was so hard to watch.
Okay, so I need to know the name of that show.
Love and Hip Hop Miami. It's Love and Hip Hop Miami.
Oh, yes, I gotta get back onto that. I haven't watched a lot of those shows, but like this is the thing, right? When I said that reality TV has changed, right? It's a lot that has changed. Like it is a lot of acting and faking now, right? But the thing is, like they will set up those scenarios and they will even bring up topics that they might not even want to talk about, right? But if you are doing something over and over and over, like somebody is just keep on trying to get you to do something or pushing your emotions to a point where you might flip out or smack somebody, not literally smack somebody, but it's like somebody calling your name over and over. After the 50th time, you like, motherfucker, what? You know what I'm saying? And so I think they do a lot of that in these reality shows. But that's my point is you don't know what mindset the person is in, because if you are, having one of those days, y'all might get some shit that's good for TV. But I need to go ahead and Love and Hip Hop Miami. I got to go back and catch up on those. Because I fell off of all of that.
I did too. And I used to love watching that
when
show.
When they first came out, because that was our first, I will put that along in the group of, it was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. That was the first one.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like it was New York first.
Was New York first?
Yes, okay, because that's when Chrissy and Dipset, Chrissy, what's his name?
Which one was first?
Jim Jones.
Were they first?
I believe they were.
Anyway,
Chrissy and Jim Jones, because she knocked Kimbella out and she went into the she didn't knock her out, but
she did fight her.
And then she went to the mirror and was like, I'm still pretty. And I just remember that show. Yeah. They had that joint up there, but I think that was the first.
Love and Hip Hop. Hold on, let me see. Which one was
Olivia was on there and
Rich I think that it existed, but which one was first? You feel what I'm saying?
Because Mona Scott Young
it was New York.
She put
it was in 2011. So
wow.
Back then was when reality TV was really, really starting these new shows, and this is when all of this started. As far as these dating shows, we're gonna this, the love of this, the love of that, or whatever. And that Love and Hip Hop was the first one of that kind, right? Okay, let's see what's going on. And that I don't know, reality TV was really reality TV back then because they didn't know what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? But now it's kind of I think what they do, especially after watching Ready to Love, I've learned so much about production and editing from watching Ready to Love. But I think what they do now is they mix people who are really there for the purpose of the show with people who are there for the purpose of acting and to play a role. And then they obviously if they hire them as an actor, they're not going to say, "Hey, I'm an actor." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think they do things now for obviously for. I'll say for the internet, for clips, but they do things for it to get attention. And so you're right. They set up these things. And unfortunately, the people who are, and we've seen it before, where the people who are there for the real thing, they end up being like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is crazy.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I really think that the people that get cut first be the people that just don't fit in with that anyway. I never really, it's not too many people that have gotten cut first that I've been like, oh, I wish they wouldn't have went. Maybe it was one or two throughout these whole seasons or whatever, but usually the person dodged the bullet, right? And so one of the girls yesterday was interviewing, and she's the first person that got cut or whatever, but she just kept saying Coach was asking her questions or whatever, and she just kept saying, "That's fake. Like, what are you talking about? That's there were producers telling us to talk about this, and this is what they said say, and we had to do it over and over. Like, that's fake. Like, this is none of this is real." I was like, oh shit. She was really like giving the interview some spice. She was telling a lot of stuff, but you know, you got to take it with a grain of salt because who knows? Who knows? You know what I mean? But anyway, I took us off on another rant.
No, that's good. Listen, we're just here talking, everybody. This is what we do. We rant. Now I'm going to hit y'all with a whammy. This is a good one. All right. So Tiana Taylor is basically going to be portraying Dionne Warwick in a biopic, and I think this is really dope because Tiana Taylor is a low key, high key, and really great actor. But like right here, this is like uncanny,
just like her. Like who else are they gonna get?
That is uncanny.
Right? Nobody else looks that much like Dionne Warwick.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her.
Didn't even look that much like
her.
Can
you imagine? Like this is basically her as her. It's wild. But can you imagine when they like put her in the actual like hair and costume, and she's gonna look exactly. We're not gonna remember.
She can sing too, like. And she can sing too. So that's yep. I always think that it's interesting when an actor or a singer plays a role that they have to sing in, or like other singers, like Jamie Foxx did Ray, and I like that. Anyway, so
I wonder, and Tiana Taylor is really talented, so I feel like she would be the person to be able to sort of mimic. You know, one of the things though, so good thing Deanna's still here with us, because one of the things that always kind of just bothers me just a little bit is sometimes I can't remember what the real Selena looks like because I keep thinking about J-Lo. But I remember Selena, and I was a fan. Like I wasn't like, you know, going to her concerts and stuff. I was too young.
That's hilarious.
But I remember like loving her songs on the radio, and you know, I just it bothers me sometimes when I think about like some of the songs. Like I love the movie too, but like some of the songs from the movie, and then I can't remember Selena doing it. I can only remember Jennifer.
Remember Jayla? That's hilarious.
But listen, this is one of those coming at you because I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between which one is Tiana Taylor and which one is Dionne Warwick.
Yeah, when I read about it at first, I just saw like a little. I didn't see any pictures or whatever. I just saw like a little announcement on one of those blogs that talks about like movies and TV shows coming up, and I saw that Tiana Taylor was to be playing Dionne Warwick, and I was like, that is perfect because I love when they make the like cast actually match the person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So. And low-key, listen, shout out to Tiana Taylor because she is goals as far as like being in shape, and she really is inspiring in that way.
She has a crazy. A crazy body.
Stay in shape like that. Like, what is she actually doing? She's probably one of those Pilates people. I'm about to look.
She's a dancer too, though. So
yeah, that's true. Know. But anyway, shout out to her. I'll be looking for that.
Consistent on what you're doing, and you'll be.
Yep. Oh, and I love what I'm doing too. Anyway,
and that's the key.
All right, so let's take it to this side of the streets, everybody.
Oh God, Tasha K.
Tasha K. God love her. She is in another lawsuit. I think we talked about this maybe very briefly.
Well, I mean, shit. Let's just say she's in various lawsuits.
I need her to really consider doing something.
She's in an assortment of lawsuits.
Slightly less controversial. But anyway, I got love for her. But she
listen, I fucks with her.
I'm glad that it's not me, basically. But listen, Kevin Hart has put a lawsuit out there and for defamation because obviously Tasha K, if you don't know, if you've been under a rock somewhere, Kevin Hart's former assistant went and interviewed with Tasha K and gave all of these details, which in itself to me is like sometimes I just don't even want to know. Like I don't even care to know. Like if it's not like illegal and I should be aware of it. Like I don't care what he's doing. Like he shouldn't cheat on his wife, sure, but it's not my business. So when this interview came out, I didn't even care to watch it because I was just like, okay, some lady who got a job working for someone starts spilling their secrets. It seemed a little sleazy to me. It didn't appeal to me to want to go and hear the details. But anyway, that's not the story. Basically, what we're talking about here is that Kevin Hart put in a bid to get the video removed, and he lost that bid. Like it was denied. A judge denied it. But which is funny to me because it's like, okay, half of me is like, okay, if you're saying it's defamatory and it's not true, then I understand why you wouldn't want the lies out there. But something tells me that he doesn't want it out there because it's, reminding him of
Probably
something
true.
that happened. Yeah, that something's just telling me that. I don't know.
Yeah, and Kevin Hart, a lot of people are going to be dealing with Tasha K. We still haven't heard anything about Jada and Will suing her, like Jada said in that fucking clip that we saw of her saying we about to sue. But I did see another interview with Brother Bilal, who's like Will Smith's old friend and ex like employee or whatever, and he said that that was all staged. And she just staged that whole thing of her coming out of the building.
Oh, like she wasn't even going nowhere.
That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? And, I have to say, like, he holds, like, a bit of credibility. Here's the thing. When stuff comes out, the people who speak out, it matters where they are in proximity to the person as far as their relationship, the proximity of their relationship to the person, right? Like, if something happened with me, and you spoke out, people will automatically be like, oh, her sister's credible. That's her sister. And let's listen to what she has to say. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus you being somebody that I worked with or somebody that may have been a customer or a client of mine or whatever, that would be like, well, we still got to fact check you, to the gills. But, something about Brother Bilal, since he was friends with Will Smith for a long time and he worked with him for that long, it's like, I can't not believe, like, I can't not take him at his word on what the stuff he says is happening. I don't know. This year has been already crazy. It's not even February. People are just like doing being involved in some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to Kevin. Kevin, I believe it. Like, I haven't even seen the interview, but I believe it. I believe it. I just also can't believe that anybody, or I couldn't see myself accepting money to put my face on TV and lie. Or YouTube is TV to me because everybody's gonna see it. But like, I can't see doing that because like that video is there. So I believe it. I believe it.
I do too. Especially
now I gotta watch the
speaking
video.
of Brother Bilal, I did realize too. I mean, like, I think the same thing you did. Like, but I didn't know that information about, like, apparently we don't know, but if it was staged,
he
that
was
would
interviewing with Make It Make Sense. He was interviewing with Make It Make Sense, and Make It Make Sense. They were talking about that, and I was just like, that was fake. And that's what he said. So I was like, people would do that, but I'm like, if you got money to do whatever, I guess you can set up whatever you want to set up. Like, hey, can't have the cameras downstairs, and I'm just gonna walk outside.
Yeah, sure. I mean, even if you don't have money, but I do think it's interesting, unless the lawsuit does come out soon, I do think it's interesting that she would have floated that there would be a lawsuit because, like, who really says that? If you really have a lawsuit, you don't really want anybody to know.
Yeah.
Covered because, like, even in Cassie's Cassie's case,
like, I'm just gonna go pursue it.
Yeah, like, I need to keep this under wraps so that I can successfully do it and get it done without being, I don't know, caught up. I don't know who says that. I'm gonna sue. Like, I'm gonna call corporate.
And she was like on her phone or whatever. We're gonna sue, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm really interested in. I didn't watch the video. Is it on her website or is it on her YouTube channel? Because she does this whole thing now where she puts some stuff out, but most of her content is on her website.
I would think she's probably getting more money from it on her website. So if I were her, I mean, it's kind of like Joe Budden kind of does something like this too. It's like a lot of his stuff is on his Patreon. It's like, you got to pay me to get this, and right. I'm gonna make it, go viral or whatever. I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to market it. But if you want to watch it, then you have to come to my website or get my app or whatever.
Speaking of him, I did hear that something went down with Queen's Flip on his I guess it's one of his co-hosts or whatever. I heard they was airing each other out, but I don't really watch Joe anymore like that. I need to catch up on the episodes, but But anyway, I don't know. I gotta see what's up with this interview. But she has had a bunch of interviews lately. She interviewed Marcel Holt. She aired that last night on YouTube. However, it was censored a little bit because I guess the receipts that she had to like that he showed her were against YouTube policies and guidelines, so they are on her website. But he sat down and talked to her. He kind of claimed Arion, kind of didn't, kind of did, kind of didn't. But it seemed like he was really excited to be there. He now has a wine company. And now I guess he's with Arion now. So it's all that. But yeah, so she has a bunch of interviews over there. And I don't know. I just love to watch interviews because you just never know what people are going to talk about, what they're going to say, how they're going to act. You can get answers from people not even answering the question. Because Martell, last night, I was just like, some of the stuff he didn't want to answer, or the way that he answered it was like, okay, well, you might as well have answered it because you just answered it.
Right.
But
that would be so crazy when people do that. It's like, okay, well, your whole avoidance speech could have just been an answer.
Right. Right. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm sorry. But anyway, back to Kevin Hart. You know, his wife is also going on tour with Cat Williams. I saw
his ex-wife. Yes, Tori Hart. What do you think about that?
The ultimate slap in the face. Like sit your ass down.
I heard about that.
Even though she's a comedian, I heard that she used to write his stuff when he used to be funny. It's just the fact that she could have been on anybody's tour. She could be doing anything, but you're on Cat Williams' tour. And he already said that he don't put nobody on there that's not funnier than him. So I think it's good. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, something like that is bound to happen because they work in the same circles and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, it is like a proverbial slap in the face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at you, your wife's on tour with me. Like, you can't get around it. Like, even if it doesn't, he acts like it doesn't mean anything. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
This is hilarious.
But he said he don't care. Kevin said he don't care, so he said good luck.
Yeah, I don't believe you, Kevin. But, you know, it's all good. Like,
what is he supposed to say, right? He can't just
get what if he's like, I'm pissed off? Like, he's not going to say that. Like, you care. I don't care. You care. We know you care.
Well, I have never seen her do stand-up, but I guess we've all heard her jokes if she used to write. If in fact she used to write for Kevin, they're saying that she used to be his ghostwriter or whatever. But I'm interested to see what she's like. I've never seen her stand-up. I'm gonna search it tonight after we get off because I've never watched any of her stand-up.
Well, I haven't either, but I definitely have heard. I'm definitely looking for Cat Williams tickets. Maybe not this tour that he's on, but the next time he comes in town, because he's gonna have another one.
Yeah, I am too, because
obviously
they're gonna get close to us.
I don't know which tour she's going on, if she's gonna be on this tour that he's on now or the next one. But either way, that'll be even better if I could catch that. All right, so we got a couple more topics to hit. Number one is Beyonce's going to perform at the Grammys this year, guys. I'm definitely going to watch. I haven't watched
the Turner tribute. I think that's bomb.
I've seen her do Tina Turner before. On like I think at the Kennedy Center, like this must have been like back in 2010 or something, maybe right around that time. I don't even remember, but it was back in the day, and she did a great job. And I know she's gonna do a good job for this, but hey, listen, that's a free Beyonce performance, everybody. So there's that. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
And I highly recommend. Okay, she rocked it at her concert. I thank my sister for making sure that I was able to go and experience Beyonce in person. I was not a big Beyonce fan. I didn't dislike her. I love her, some of her songs, but my sister has been a huge fan over the years, so I always listen to Beyonce. But being able to go and see her perform live, it was like a different experience. I really, really got some respect for her, and I really got respect. The one thing that stands out to me from that concert, except like Blue Ivy aside, because that was cool. Yeah. Is the wig that she wore when it was raining. I was just in awe at the fact, not even in awe, but I was just like kind of proud at the fact that, yeah, bitch, you knew exactly what wig to put on.
Yeah.
You figured it was rain. You know, you have a backup plan for when it's raining. You're just going to put on a wet and wavy wig that you're going to wear out there natural, and it's gonna like you're gonna flat iron it, but then when the rain starts, it's gonna be wet and wavy because that's like that was genius to me. Like that was genius. So, because she was still able to whip it around and stuff like that. Like, I was just so like, okay. But I just have so much respect for her because of just looking at how much it took to get the show together. Like, all of the logistics of everything. And, it was good. So, anyway, so she's going to do Tina Turner at the Grammys. And I think that's a perfect person to do it.
I do too. I haven't watched the Grammys in years,
I think,
but I'm gonna watch this one. And speaking of the tour, the one thing that stuck out to me very randomly, first of all, she's amazing. She's an amazing performer. But the show that we went to, so on the tour, it was that when she did that tribute to the Maori twins when she did yeah. That show blew my mind when I seen that clip. I was like, oh my God. Because it just reminds you that like, oh, she grew up the same time we did. Like she was listening to the same stuff.
Right.
Here she is doing all the stuff that she wants to do. And that's really cool because she worked really hard just so that she could do the stuff that she wants to do. And she does it very well. But the thing that blew my mind about that tour was that big ass horse. There was this big horse, like not the one that she sat on when she did a couple songs, but there was this horse that came out of the back of the stage. And it had to be like 30 feet tall or something. It was so huge.
See, and the thing about that part is that I don't know exactly when it came out. It was just there. I don't know what was going on when we were looking at on the stage or whatever, but it was kind of like something was happening on the stage over here, the performance, and then we look this way and then we look back and it's over there to the point where I was like, is that a hologram? Like, is that for real? But
that's what we were asking ourselves.
Like, what am I doing? What was I doing when they were rolling that shit out?
There it is. I think I just found it online.
It was a great show.
Okay, sorry. I don't even know what's happening. All right, I just have to show people this. So this is the stage. I don't even know if you can really see like how big it is, but like
right,
these are people.
Listen, all I know is it just appeared.
Yeah, these are the people down here. It's just it was so huge. It was
a good show. That was a good concept.
We couldn't figure out if it was like, I don't know what it was, but anyway, so she's gonna perform at the Grammys. And speaking of her mom got into something where she had to go and give an apology. Well, it's not even an apology. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. It's not an apology. Basically, what she's saying is that she got a text or somebody sent her a message basically saying that like she apparently, Miss Tina Knowles, liked a comment about something and she wanted to clarify that was not about Janet Jackson. Apparently, she got accused of like, oh, you commented on somebody how ticket prices are too high, and it was a comment about Janet Jackson's tour. So she's basically clarifying like, I know what a good production costs, and I know that the Jacksons are the first family of music forever, and nobody will ever take their place. So I would have never said that about Janet Jackson and da-da-da-da. And people were in the comments talking about, oh, Beyonce must have called her and told her, Ma, get online.
But oh my God, because that probably could happen too. Like, Ma, you wasn't thinking you need to correct that because she should know that shit. She looks good. I gotta give it to her. She looks good.
I really appreciated the way she said it because she wasn't apologetic because she didn't do anything wrong, but she was just basically like, I would never do that. And the way she said it, it's like, she was telling the truth. She was like, I would never sit there and talk about Janet Jackson. You're out of your mind. Like, it's Janet Jackson. You're crazy.
I just like to point out she's 70.
Wow. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, she looks really good. Anyway, okay, guys, that's really all of the topics that we have for today. We were so glad to come to you tonight and share our thoughts and ideas. Next week, I'm going to be able to, I'm going to write it down this time. I actually brought my planner in here, and I'm going to write down the things that I'm going to watch this week. I was going to say Love and Hip Hop. I might.
I got to write that down because I got to watch Love and Hip Hop Miami.
You know what's crazy is that I think that, not that I've been burned or whatever, but like I've learned my lesson with thinking that I'm going to review a show before I see it. And so now that there's been a couple of episodes of a couple of shows that we like, I'm going to go ahead and do the binge thing this weekend while I'm setting up this room to film it. And which I'm really close actually. And then, yeah. And so I definitely want to do the ones that we talked about. So I'm going to look for those.
But I think you had a good idea though. Like, you know, I want to be able to know that I want to do the show. Like I knew I wanted to do Ready to Love because I like Ready to Love. But like some shows I had started reviewing and then I kind of fell off because I just wasn't in it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch Love and Hip Hop Miami. And you should look at Ready to Love. It's only 2 episodes in to see if you are, to see if you like it. They made some changes. And just know that the first girl that got cut, Kojo already has an interview with her.
Okay, bet.
And it is worth watching. It just kind of tells you a lot. But
I'm so glad I have something to watch tomorrow and the next day.
Yeah, and then the other one is All the Queen's Men. I recommend starting to watch that because that's on BET, and it's the Christian Keys one. He's actually in it. Even Marcel's in it. That one has me in a chokehold. I like it. It came back. It was on a break, and then it came back, but they only posted 2 episodes last week. But I guess they posted an episode for last week and an episode for this week, and then the next episode don't post till next week. So I'm irritated about that, but it's good. It's good.
I want to know who he was talking about. I never heard anything after that.
I know.
But you know, it'll come out if it's going to come out.
Yeah. But, yeah, because I want to know too. But something took the place of it, and I can't remember what it was.
I think it was TD Jakes, who also the person never came out. That one was kind of unfair to me.
Something happened right in there though. Like after that whole Diddy, Christian Keys thing, whatever. Something happened that everybody started looking. Oh, it must have been Shannon Sharp and Cat Williams.
Oh yeah, it was.
Isn't that crazy how the news cycle moves or whatever? Like, and then we all go over there.
Yeah, because I remember that TD Jakes thing broke right before Christmas because that's when he was like, "I'm not going to address it."
Yeah,
but my thing is, then the Kevin Hart thing, and it's so funny because that came and took everything out, and we forgot about everything that was happening.
I know, right?
The internet is so like, one track minded. It's just like, oh, over here, oh, over there.
Crazy. But yeah, so anyway, but if you guys have suggestions of things that we should watch and you'd like to see us talk about them, put those in the chat below in the comments. If you're in the replay gang and you catch this after we're not live anymore, definitely get into the comments below because we want to know what you think too. What shows are you watching? What do you think about all this crazy stuff that's going on in the world with Haile? I always say Haile Berry, and it's not because of Halle Berry, right?
Halle Bailey. It's kind of hard to say since we
Halle
already
Bailey, but it's so close to Halle Berry that it just like always messes me up. Like I know what I'm talking about, but my mouth wants to say Halle Berry. Anyway, Halle Bailey, Halle. What is it?
Halle.
It's Halle. Halle Bailey. It's Halle. Okay. Halle Bailey might be pregnant again, so we don't know. So we'll see about that. Get in the comments below. Let us know what you think about that. And then the other thing that we talked about in the very beginning. Oh, what was it?
5-minute morning routine?
Or the morning routine.
We
definitely. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we talked about the morning routine. We talked about men's preferences, Usher's lover, Friends, Mary J. Blige. We talked about Super Bowl, Common and J Hud. We talked about some other stuff.
Common and J Hudson, yes. I'm just naming things that I want to hear people's opinion about. You're free to comment on it all, but definitely in the comments below. Let us know what you think about Common and Jennifer Hudson getting together officially now. Common, I don't know. I think he might be a hop around. You guys let us know what you think. But we'll be back next week to talk about whatever is going on in these celebrity streets, these YouTube streets, these reality TV streets. I don't know. Who knows what might happen? Until then, I mean, you guys just need to stay safe and rewatch all of our videos. You got any last words?
You said it perfectly right there.
You don't got nothing else to say?
No, thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next week.
Off of here. Anyway, I'm your girl, Demetra Joe, and this is my sister. I'm pointing the wrong way.
Yes, I'm a unicorn.
I'm going to update the description below after we get off of this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, everybody. Peace.